Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lea and I really like to knit. And I'm really excited about this video because we are doing, finally, the legendary Moby sweater by petiteknit. Finally, because I have the pattern for quite some time now, I think 1.5 years maybe, something like that. And back then I wanted to make it in some dark green yarn, and I also wanted to make it with some other than acrylic yarn. Back then I liked to knit with only acrylic yarn because it's way cheaper than buying natural fibers. So, little background story. And back then I purchased this, there's a hair of course. I purchased this dark green merino wool. I have no idea which brand it is. And I purchased one bowl, wanted to make the gauge swatch, realized I've been quite lost with the gauge swatch and lost interest. Then another shiny new pattern came around the corner, and this ball of yarn is since then untouched in my stash. And to this day I have no idea what I want to make with it. But at the beginning of this year I purchased quite a lot of yarn from drops. And if you've watched my yarn organization video, I think it was the second video on my channel, I talked a bit about my plans, what I want to do. And one of the projects I want to make is the Moby sweater. And now we're here. That was a really long backstory. What yarn are we using and what color? Maybe she will use dark green like she just said. No, that was 1.5 years ago. I've moved on from a dark green sweater and we are doing some off-white. Yay, fantastic. I really want to have the sweater in an off-white color. What yarn are we using? We are using Drop Slimer. Yay, which is 65% wool and 35% alpaca. This is the color 100. I have quite a few balls of yarn for this project because I also want to make another project with the exact same yarn, so I definitely will have enough. My plans for the sweater. If you've watched a few videos of mine, you know that I like my sweaters, cardigans, tops, whatever, cropped. But for this sweater, I wanted to be a bit longer. I thought, why not? I also wanted to make it oversized, but the pattern itself has quite the positive amount of ease, I think. So I'll be knitting it in size medium and I'll be using 4mm needles. And before I give you my first update, because I already started 2 days ago, I will now show you the clips for my little adventure doing the gauge swatch. See you soon. I'm still a bit lost about the gauge situation for the Moby sweater because the pattern just says to knit the gauge swatch in the texture pattern. And you have a few different textures. And I think that was one of the points that I didn't knit it, because I was a bit overwhelmed with the whole gauge situation. But I sat down in front of my computer, opened the World Wide Web and went to my favorite subreddit in the whole wide world, the knitting subreddit, and had a look. And I found a thread about the Moby sweater gauge swatch where someone posted their swatch and asked what to do with it. And I now will read the comments, make maybe a few notes and start with the gauge swatch and hopefully get it right. We'll see. Maybe I can also look at a few Ravelry project pages, get some inspo there and figure it out. I'm motivated to get it right this time. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, I casted on 40 stitches. I have 3 stitches that I'm not counting for the sides, and oh, I have to do 3 another here just so it doesn't curl up. And then I read the comments. petiteknit said that the swatch should include moss stitch, mock cables and the cables, including the letters next to it. And in another comment she said you can use half the chart for the back from row 36, 42, depending on which size you're knitting. So I just did that. I have now 40 stitches on my needle, don't count the side stitches. These will be moss stitch, the letter, the cable, the letter and the mock cable. I'll be knitting this up and then see if I
hit gauge. I guess that should be potentially it. We'll see.
I have this much for my swatch so far. I've pinned it down so you can see it a bit better. Here we have the mock cable, the ladder, the cable, the ladder, and a bit of moss stitch. I pinned it down to 20 centimeters and it seems to hit gauge. I'll probably knit a few more rows. I know that this isn't blocked and I'm not planning on blocking the swatch because I know that this will grow a bit, and that is fine for me because I want the Moby sweater to be a bit oversized. At first I thought about knitting size large, but I decided against it because I know that this will definitely grow when I block it. I'll be knitting size medium and stretch it a bit out when I'm blocking it. These are 40 stitches, so I should be at 20 centimeters. I am. I knit a few more rows, probably not gonna show you. I'm happy, and maybe this will help you if you are planning on knitting this. It's just a bit of the back section, and then with 40 stitches I achieved around 20 centimeters unblocked. So keep that in mind. Okay, I started casting on and put the first stitches on hold, and now I can start with the pattern. I placed stitch markers every 10th stitch, so it's a bit easier to count when casting on, but I have to remove these stitch markers and replace them with the pattern. Before I do that, I just printed out part of the pattern and color-coded the symbols that I have, so it's a bit easier. Normally I don't print out stuff, but because I'll go on vacation and I don't want to use my phone and tablet all the time, it's a bit simpler to just have it handy in paper form. So now that I did that, it's really satisfying to have it like this, not that. So I can start setting up for the back yoke. I think this is done with German short rows, and we all know that I love German short rows. This will be fun. The gauge swatch was really fun to knit up, so I'm excited. I say this now and I'm done with the projects in a few weeks when I barely have half of it or so. I predict this. But yeah, I think the Moby sweater for my little camping vacation was the right choice. It just feels right. So I make myself dinner now, watch the current Love Island USA episode, and then start with the back yoke. In 1 hour I'll be playing Terraria, and I'm really excited about that because we really want to finish this game. We are a bit over it, but it's still fun and a little challenge. But yeah, wish me luck, wish us luck that we'll maybe get closer to beating it. I'm prepared, let's go. Okay, like I said, I started the Moby sweater 2 days ago, and I'm currently mid-row, but of course I want to show you my progress. I have currently this much. Amazing, right? It's a bit tricky with the cable. I am in the last row for the German short rows, and then I have to just knit in pattern until the piece measures around 20 something centimeters. At first I had a bit of problem to remember how I do the mock cables, but like with any other pattern, it's just you do a few rows and then you know exactly what you need to do. I don't have to look at the pattern anymore, what I have to do, which is quite relaxing. And something about this pattern just really hits right at the moment. This is exactly what I want to knit at the moment. It just hits the right spot, if you can say that. The yarn feels really nice. The stitch definition is really good, and it's really easy. It's a really easy pattern, but it looks It looks quite complicated, doesn't it? Today is Thursday, the 10th of July, and I'll be going on holiday in 2 days. So on Saturday morning, I'm going on my little camping holiday. I'm really excited about that, and I'm also excited to see how much I can get done before going camping. I also have to remember to pack everything knitting related, like some more cables for picking up the shoulders, enough stitch markers, scissors, more balls of yarn. I think that it's maybe a tapestry needle to weave in loose ends if I have any. I really can't forget that. I would be devastated if I couldn't knit. I now go on a little walk, maybe make myself a coffee to go and just enjoy the good weather. Hi there! It's been 1.5 weeks for me since I talked to you. For you it's just a few seconds maybe. And I'm back from a little camping and hiking vacation in the Harz. In the Harz, which is a eastern German mountain range. I had definitely not that good of weather. It was very rainy and cold, but I did the best out of it. And I just sat down and wrote a page in my little journal so I don't forget anything. Hiking and camping was very good. I was very active, got my steps in every day, amazing. And saw quite a few cool things. And on the day before the last day, a friend who lives in the region actually came and visited me. And we took a steam locomotive to the top of the Brocken, which is the highest peak in the Harz mountain range. Amazing. On that day, the weather was quite nice actually. It was really warm and we had a very good view of the Harz. And on the last day, I packed up very early and drove to Erfurt, where the friend who just visited me lives, and then we took a walk through the old town where I took a picture with the very famous German icon Bernd das Brot, which is a depressive bread. He's iconic. And yeah, after that I drove home. And now we come to the knitting part. When I started my trip, I was on the back yoke And I actually started knitting in the round when I was on the drive back home. Amazing. So this is the current state of my Moby sweater. So far I did 2 sweater surgeries where I knitted the pattern wrong, but those mistakes were easily fixable. When I realized I had to do sweater surgery, I started sweating and was like, fuck, how do I do that? But I just took my time and I fixed it easily. But I also did a mistake in the front, which I didn't fix. I don't know why. Let me show you. Maybe you can see, yeah, I think you can definitely see it. Here, in this part, I did a mistake while counting with my little row counter. I accidentally thought I was 2 rows ahead, which wasn't the case. So this little cable here is 2 rows short. But because the front has to be 10 rows longer than the back, and I want to have this cable pattern twisting on the same round with the back, because in the back it's right, of course. So I did the second cable, this one here, oh I'm sorry, I'm showing you the middle finger. So I did the second cable 2 rows longer so that I'm even, you know? So this one is a bit shorter, this one is a bit longer, and you can see it if you know that's there. So I hope you understand why I did that. I'm not exactly sure why I didn't fix it. I could have easily done that, but it's alright. Honestly, I'm more impressed that I didn't do more mistakes. So it's alright. A little progress. I haven't tried it on yet, but I think I'll do that after a few more rows when I have a bit more length to the body. And I also did a little small modification. When I started knitting in the round, I casted 4 additional stitches for the underarms on. 4 on this, for this underarm, and 4 of course for the other underarm. And I just did that because I know that I like the look of it more. And that's the absolute beauty of knitting your own clothes. You can just do what you know you would like the best. I think I told you everything I wanted to tell you. I got way more done than I thought I would on my little trip, which is amazing. And I started this sweater. Let me have a look on my Ravelry project page. So today is the 21st of July and I started on July 8th. So tomorrow it will be 2 weeks. Not bad for a cable sweater. Today's Monday. I don't have to work until Wednesday, so 2 more days. And I'm planning on getting my rounds in, so I'll be doing that. What I also wanted to tell you is that I'm currently on my 4th ball of yarn. I gave you a very detailed update, I think. And now the book is closed and my show is on, and I see you when I have a bit something new to tell you. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me. Goodbye. Hey, let's do some math together. Doesn't this sound fun? I want to calculate to which round I need to knit. So I already did the math and thought I'd tell you what I calculated. So the back of the sweater needs to be 52 centimeters and I'm currently at 36.5 centimeters. So I need an additional 15.5 centimeters more. So far, so good. So when I started knitting in the round here, I resetted my row counter and I'm currently at round 37. And 37 rounds come to around 11 centimeters. So if we do, I think in English it's called rule of 3. If we do that, we come to, I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes. So So 11 centimeters are 37 rounds, so 15.5 centimeters are 52 rounds. Now, if we put 37 and 52 together, we get 89. So I need to knit around 89 and then I can start with the ribbing, which are, I think, 8 centimeters. I'm making good progress. I'm hoping that I can knit a few more rounds today than yesterday. Yesterday I only did like 3 or 4 rounds. And I'm now on my 5th ball of yarn. That's all I have for now. I'm now gonna eat my dinner and knit a few more rounds, hopefully. Thank you. Hi, it's been a few days since we last talked, so why not let me give you a little update on the Moby sweater. Of course, in typical fashion, I'm showing you my progress mid-row. Mid-round, I'm sorry. But it doesn't matter. I'm currently doing the ribbing for the body, and I currently have this much. This is 5.5 centimeters, and I'm on round 17. You can't see that, right? 17. I have to knit to, I think, round 25, 26, around that. Then I should have 8 centimeters. Then I do 2 rounds of double knitting, and then I can finally do the Italian bind off. This will probably take me forever as usual, but I'm excited. So the sweater has a really good length in my opinion. One of the more longer sweaters that I will own. The sweater is quite fitting. I hope I can loose it up a bit by blocking and maybe even block a bit aggressively, we'll see. But yeah, it should definitely be fine. I'm really enjoying this pattern. I think I said it over 100 times in this video already, but this pattern really hits the spot for me. It's engaging, but also I can knit a bit more mindlessly. Exactly that what I want to knit at the moment. It looks really good. I'm really happy. This will be a great sweater, and it will finish just in time for my trip to Norway in 1.5 months. And I'm really hoping I can knit one more sweater until then, so that I have a little sweater collection, so when it's chilly up there I'm not getting cold. And I want to wear my handmade sweaters in Norway. What else should I have as an explanation? So yeah, I go back to knitting. I have a few YouTube videos that I'm excited to watch lined up, and I'm having a great day. And of course I'm having a cup of coffee, drink good tea and play good games. Almost. And I come back to you once the body is finished. Amazing news! I just finished the decreases for the first sleeve. And now I can start with the ribbing. The sleeve measures now 36 centimeters. If you remember, I picked up 4 additional stitches for the underarm, so I had to do 2 extra decrease rounds, but I only got 1 in, so I have 2 more stitches than the pattern recommends. I think the pattern says you should have 66 stitches and I have 68. Doesn't matter, right? This was really a breeze to knit. What I really like to do before I start with knitting a sleeve, I go to my Ravelry library page and list all the rounds where I have to do decreases. First round was the 9th round, then the 18th round, and so on. And I also noted in which rounds I had to do the cable, so I didn't forget that. And it worked like a charm. I started the sleeve, I think, on Monday evening, and today is Friday, so I'll definitely finish the first sleeve on the weekend. Amazing. So I'll just follow the pattern and knit the ribbing for 10 centimeters. I'm really happy about this project. This looks really nice. It fits really good. I like the yarn, I like the color. This really was the right choice of project. I'm glad I did this. So let's go right back to, you guessed it, knitting. Yippee! It's really windy today, and it was an amazing idea for me to go on the balcony and talk about my project. I basically finished the moby sweater a few minutes ago. The neckband came out really nice. Look at it. It just rounds up the sweater very, very nicely. I did a small modification to the neckband. I knitted all the rounds as the pattern says, and in round 25, when you fold it over and knit 2 together, so you sew down the neckband while knitting. I tried that a few times with other projects in the past, and it never really came out the way I wanted to. So what I like to do instead is to bind off the neckband with, I think it's called Jenny's stretchy bind off. And when I bind off all the stitches, I fold it over, pin everything in place and just sew it down. So I really, really like this. And the only thing now left to do is to block the moby sweater. But before I do that, I show you how it looks on me. I'm excited to try it on. And then I will block very aggressively to get a hopefully very nice, loose and maybe a bit oversized fit. We'll see. I'm excited. Damn, she's doing a sweater reveal on her balcony. How brave is she? Well, the thing is that I'm currently in the process of moving, and the whole apartment is a complete mess and also very empty. So I thought, why not go on the balcony and do some reveal shots of the moby sweater here. Quite the nice background, I'll definitely miss it. Anyway, the moby sweater's finished and I'm really happy about it. Blocking really helped loosen it up, and I'll definitely try blocking it a bit more when I'm washing it the next time. But I would like to have it a bit more oversized, I'm not gonna lie. I really thought it would be way looser, so I should have, in hindsight, knitted this in size large. Thought size M would be perfect with the positive ease. Maybe my gauge is a bit too tight. It's definitely ready for fall and ready for my Norway vacation in 2 weeks. 2 weeks? I have quite the stressful days and weeks ahead of me. Today is Monday and I'll be moving apartments on Saturday. Most of the things already are in my new apartment. I already bought some things over. I already have the keys to my new apartment since 2 weeks, 3 weeks even, maybe. And I already got quite a lot of stuff over there. Mostly what's left is just a bit of furniture and some more boxes. But anyway, I'm really liking my new sweater. If you want to make the Moby sweater as well, I've linked the Ravelry store page in the description, as well as my Ravelry project page. Yeah, if you want to have it a bit more oversized, maybe size up one size. And I'm really glad I finally did it. It was way easier than I thought at first glance. I don't regret knitting this on my camping trip and in summer. I'm currently sitting in the sun and it's very warm, but I'm really enjoying it. Next week we have officially fall. I'm excited about that. So I have the perfect sweater for fall. I already repeated that like 4 times. And yeah, I'm really feeling sweater knitting at the moment. I think in this video or maybe another video I talked about that I'm really motivated to knit sweaters to take with me to Norway. And now I have this one and a few other. I already casted on my next sweater project and I have quite a bit of progress on it, and I'm really excited about sharing this vlog with you in the future because I'm planning on it since the beginning of January this year. And it's, how do I say it without being too cryptic? It's just a basic drop shoulder pattern, but I've designed some color work for the front, which has a lot of meaning behind it, and I'm excited to share that with you in the future. Yeah. Maybe this doesn't make sense at the moment. Maybe it doesn't really make sense when you see that video in the future, but it will be a very sentimental video. I already know that. So, enough talk about the future projects I want to make. I showed you the finished Moby sweater. I'm really enjoying it. If you've enjoyed this video, maybe consider liking and subscribing. I would really appreciate it and it would really help my channel out. And I really hope to see you in the next one.